I'm not sure here if you're looking for supplements or herbs or lifestyle practices to improve energy levels, but there's things you can do in all these areas that are going to be very helpful. First, I think the foundation of having really good energy is having really good sleep. So to be able to do lots of things in your life, you have to spend a solid chunk of time basically doing nothing. Maybe counterintuitive in some ways, but it is absolutely essential, and I think probably obvious to everybody, although people don't put quite enough effort oftentimes into getting quality sleep to lay the foundation for a spectacular rest of their life. To have the other 16 hours of their day be epic, you got to give up 8. It's just part of the way the body works. Now, looking at herbs, we would want to look in the Chinese system at what are called qi tonics. Your qi is your moment-to-moment active energy. It's what's in your checking account. It's the energy you're extracting from the air you breathe and the food you eat. It's your active source of energy. And so herbs that can be very helpful here are things like astragalus and cordyceps. Polyrachis is another great one that most people have never heard of. Rhodiola is a good one. Schizandra, lion's mane. Those last two would be especially on point if you're looking for brain-focused energy. And then also looking in the Ayurvedic system, you have things that work on what they call prana, which is basically the same thing as chi for the most part. And so you look at something like ashwagandha is a great prana tonic coming out of Ayurveda. And so that's what I would look at in the herbal department. You could also look, a few others would be like Gynestemma is another great chi tonic as well that is underappreciated, I think. And then looking at supplements and other things, generally you want to think about your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are bacteria that live in your cells, and they are responsible for your production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is pure cellular energy. So the more mitochondria you have, the healthier your mitochondria, the more energy you're going to have. So there's lots of things you can do to boost your mitochondria. You can do it through high-intensity interval training. You can do it through cold exposure. You want to wake up, put yourself in a cold shower. You can do it through heat exposure. You can do it through supplements. For example, magnesium helps with your mitochondria. You can also, and production of ATP. It's an essential component of ATP production, in fact, magnesium. So magnesium glycinate is a great one. Also, CoQ10, or the more advanced form of CoQ10, ubiquinol, or the more advanced form of ubiquinol, PQQ. Experiment, see which one works best with you. I've tried them all. I personally have experienced the most benefit from taking 300 milligrams a day of ubiquinol, and that gives me a really noticeable energy enhancement. And there's long-term benefits in many areas of your health to having really strong mitochondria. And I briefly mentioned the cold exposure earlier. Going into the cold causes your body to produce more of what's called brown fat. This is not a fat that you would see on somebody visibly. It's stored in different areas of the body. And brown fat is called brown fat because it's not white in color like regular fat. It's brown. You know what gives it the brown color? The intense concentration of mitochondria that are in there, because mitochondria themselves are actually brown in color. And then, going beyond this, there's various other things like alpha-lipoic acid would be another good supplement to consider. But before, I would say before you get into the fancy supplements, start getting the really good sleep. Start doing some good training, incorporating a couple of really good herbs into your life that are going to enhance your health on multiple levels. Get into some basic supplements like magnesium is something that almost anyone can benefit from. And start putting together these building blocks of great inherent natural energy production and mitochondrial health, and you're going to be feeling great all the time.